Welcome to Recipe for Success. I'm your host, Randall Cook, the chef. You are listening to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration right here, right now. We about to get it. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Randall Dane Cook, RandallDaneCook. Same thing on Facebook. Thank you to our sponsors this week, Cook Agency LLC and Capital Property Group LLC. Guys, I've been having a blast on the show. I've been having so much fun. Been getting a lot of great feedback. I appreciate you guys following and listening to all the followers and listeners on Free TuneIn Radio app and iHeartRadio. We're back at it again. Man, let me tell you this. I'm going to start this deal off with this story because it ties into what we're talking about today. And that's, stop looking for handouts. Stop looking for come-ups. Stop looking for the easy road to get to where you're trying to go. There ain't no easy road. It's lonely. It's a road less traveled. And, there's no traffic on the extra mile. So there's this dude that I used to be cool with way back in high school. Man, we got our first apartment together. We like 18, we graduated. I'm like, man, I'm like, we moving out of mom and pop's house. Like, we about to go out here and like have our own spot and be having parties and be having fun. So like, we was real cool, man. And man, we used to party, hang out, do all kind of stuff, man, all around the city. We all over the place. And we both had two nice cars. My man had a 3000 GT VR4 twin turbo with the little blowout valves on there. So, whenever he would like rev up, it would like sound like a little rocket ship dipping off. And I had Pontiac Trans Am Firebird, man, with the LT1 motor in there, the Corvette engine. Man, we used to be dogging them things out all around town. And so when I turned 22, life goes on, so on and so forth. We go on our ways in life and, we doing stuff. And I moved away. I moved to New Orleans when I was like 22. So, I'm 34 now. I've been gone from New Orleans for 4 years. I've been gone from San Diego altogether for 12, coming up on 13 years now. So about a year ago, like we had just kind of fell off, lost contact, man, through outside of Facebook, and my man wasn't really on Facebook like that, so I ain't really peep him out. So like about a year, maybe a year and a half or so ago, like he like hit me up out the blue. Now me and his brother, we still real cool. And every time I go home to San Diego, I try to go slide through by his brother's house and go hang out, spend some time. We'll go to the shooting range. He's a cop. Trying to get on in the FBI right now. Real good stand-up guy, man. He always been like the super stand-up brother. Everything legit by the books, about the whack car, so he could save his money and keep his credit right while he was doing like the police academy and getting on with this, and cool guy. So I ain't gonna mention any names because he might be listening, right? So I ain't gonna put anybody on blast. So my boy hit me up like about a year and a half ago. And he's like, hey, yo, what's going on, Randall? How's everything going? Blah, blah, blah with the wham. I'm like, yeah, man, life is great. I've been doing my thing at the insurance company. I got promoted. I'm running my own deal now, blah, blah, blah. Life is great. And he's like, man, we were so dope back in the days. Not too many people think the way that we do. Business-minded, entrepreneurs trying to be successful. And we used to be masterminding back in the day. And so I'm like, all right, cool, man. We hitting it back off, jumping back off or where we left off in life. And then so my man talking about, yeah, man, I'm doing this and man, I got this idea and it ain't too many cats that I could really trust like that. That I would be willing to go into business with because I just know how you are, know how you think, and I know we like-minded. And I'm like, all right, bet, what's going on? So he started talking to me about like cars, and we was always really into cars, man. I learned how to work on cars from this cat. Stuff was going wrong with my car. He was like, bro, no problem. Don't spend no money. Let's go to AutoZone, get the parts. We about to hop up under the hood. Boom. So he taught me how to work on cars. So when he talking about cars, I know my man know what he talking about. Like he knows everything there is to know about cars, man. My man had a car when he was like 13 years old, no lie. He used to pull up to school every now and then in his old school Fiero when he was like in the 7th, 8th grade. His pops was real cool. Just used to let them do whatever they wanted to do. They were like little adults back then. So he talking about, I got this shop, we tricking these cars out. I work for this nice car dealership, luxury car dealership. He does. And he's like, I got the whole setup, man. I'm just looking for some investors, who want to go in on a business with me. And, I fly you out here, take you to the shop and let you see these cats I got working. And I'm like, all right, cool, bet. So then my man hit me with like, yeah, man, I'm just looking for like, I know you do good and stuff. Maybe if you just got some extra money to play with, we just maybe something small like 100,000. I'm like, whoa, did you just say something small like $100,000? Like to just throw you away real quick? I'm like, all right, so I ain't really trying to drop 100 G's. I'd rather invest that into what I'm doing. But, I just let him continue on talking. And so he starts asking me, let's do this and let's do that and slide 100,000 my way. And man, like you'll get this crazy return on your money, man. It'll make more than the little 6 figures you make. And I'm like, all right, my little 6 figures. Okay, you still got a job. I own a business or two now, but my little 6 figures. And so I'm asking him like, all right, send everything over to me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let my attorney check it out and my CPA. And, and then we'll see what we can do and see what was working. He's like, oh man, like I just need you to come out here. Like I ain't really trying to do all that. And, ultimately it came down to the point that I was like, all right, man, well, keep me posted on what's going on with the business. And, when I get some free time in between work and things I have going on, I'll try to slide out to Dago and come check everything out. And kid you not, before I even really get the chance to kind of sit back, which, I ain't about to part with $100,000, no kind of way. And about a month or so and a half later, my man hit me back up. He was like, man, I got this business deal, man. I know you like investing and you a good investor and all this kind of stuff. And next thing you know, my man started talking about he got some like secret energy thing going on. And how the government's after him and not too many people know about it. My man started talking about cold fusion and nuclear physics. And I'm like, bro, like we graduated high school. Ain't none of us go to college. You know what I mean? And you done had some problems outside of high school with the law and then kind of living here and there, man. Now you talking about cold fusion and like nuclear power and revolutionizing the world. I'm talking about making like $50 billion and that trumps whatever I make. So I should just slide you like 50 stacks. I'm like, bro, how you talking about cold fusion? How you talking about nuclear physics and all this crazy stuff? And I thought you was about to hit me up about the car dealership, about flipping the cars and tricking them out for these football players and these guys from Dubai. And my man really do got a few connects with some royalty. That's a whole nother story, though. That thing went totally south. FBI, the whole deal, like terrorist money. And, but he got some of the connects in the Middle East. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. You ain't doing a car deal right now. Like, what happened to that, number one? Number two, now you talking to me about some crazy physics and revolutionizing the world with this energy source. Like, it ain't really adding up to me real quick. Like, I know you've been a little sketchy, since I've been gone from Dago. I still keep in contact with my people out there, have some stuff going on, but I don't know if I could part with my money to help you get where you need to go. So I had this question. I was like, all right, man, well, how much you got? Like, what do you got on the table? What other investors do you have who are going to invest into the business? Or are you solely seeking for me to be the person to give you my hard-earned money so you can go try to flip it on whatever it is you may be trying to flip it on? And his answer was like, man, I ain't really brought this to nobody at all because I'm trying to keep everything on a low, because power companies don't want people to know about this energy source, so we got to keep everything real hush hush, even with the patents and the military and all this crazy stuff. And then so a few months later, I'm like, all right, bro, well, I can't really get down with that. I can't invest in anything that I don't really know about because that's not how I work. I need to know what I'm doing. I need to know how all the angles operate so I could be able to, jump in if there's something that needs to be done. If we're having like some hardships or we declining in the business or in the venture, I need to be able to put my boots on the ground and know that I got the tools and the skill set to be able to like rectify that situation and get back in the green to be profitable, right? So boom, we kind of just blow that idea out the water. Calls me up like 2, 3, 4 months later. Now I'm like, oh, bro, it's my man calling me again. Like, what kind of cockamamie scheme he got now? And now you want to do some like tricking out motorcycles and and he got some dude boxing all at the same time. Like he want me to sponsor his boxer, and this dude gonna be the next, welterweight champion of the world, and check him out on his Facebook page or something like that. So we done went from cars to like cold fusion energy power to power the whole globe, become billionaires, to sponsor his boxer, to race motorcycles. And I came to this conclusion, man, like this dude don't have nothing going on. What he sees is that I've had some success in life, and now he's looking for the come up. And he wants to take my hard-earned money so he can try to go make some money off of it, or nevertheless just like straight up take my money and disappear. So let me tell you guys all this out in radio land and listener land and internet land, man, unless you got the blueprint for what you want to do, stop asking people for help. Stop asking people for assistance. You need to get some things going in your own life before you start trying to bring other people on to your vision and your idea. Like for me, I need to know that you have the will, the drive, the desire, the hard work, that you've had some sleepless nights, you've had some long days, you've had some disappointments and activities because you've been hustling and saving your money so you can invest it into your own self. Nobody will ever invest into you if you are not willing to invest in your own self. And I need to see some proof that what you do brings results, and that it just ain't some harebrained scheme to try to come up in life. You can't come up and you can't just scoop up on success out of thin air like that. It don't work that way, y'all. You got to put forth the effort first. You got to do everything on your own, right? Self-made millionaires, and the reality behind that is that they self-made not because they haven't had any help or because nobody coached them, but it's because they didn't need anybody else's help. They put all the work in themselves, and there were other people who came along to help them go to the next level, whether it was either with loans from the bank or with connections, but they did all the hard work up front themselves. You got to be willing to do the hard work on your own before anybody will be willing to travel that road with you. Guys, I guarantee you that nobody, and it won't be long lasting or sustained if anybody does like buy into any of the crap and starts putting in on you trying to be successful in life and you haven't had any success on your own. I need you to get some of your own success before you try to borrow some of mine and flip it. I need to see that I'm going to get a return on my investment of money or return on my investment of time. And so you got to have some proof. You got to have some videos. You got to have some like people following your page. You got to have some revenue, right? Watching Shark Tank. I love that show, Shark Tank. Cats come on and they're like this, that, and the other, and we going to make all this money. And I just need y'all to jump on. I need this shark, that shark, this shark. And they're like, so like, what's the number so far? And then they know that look when they start talking about, oh, we pre-revenue right now. We pre-revenue. Look, before you come to me, I need you to be more than pre-revenue. I need you to have some things going on. I need to see some money in the bank. Got to see some savings, right? So, you guys, we're going to take a quick break because I'm really about to go ham. After this, I just kind of had to, like, set the stage and warm up. I'll see y'all back in a few minutes, all right? Real story.
That's why I couldn't cut you. I had to let you go ahead and get that one out. Like, go ahead. That was like 12 minutes, I think.
Was it?
No.
Welcome back to Recipe for Success. I am your host, Randall Cook, a.k.a. The Chef. You are listening to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Thank you to all of our listeners on free TuneIn Radio app and iHeartRadio. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Randall Dane Cook, and follow me on my Facebook page, Randall Dane Cook. You can also check out the business page. That's American Income Life Cook Agency. You guys, let's get right back into it. We're talking about having something going for yourself before you try to get other people to jump on board with your vision and your goals and your ideas. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something I tell people all the time. Your success can never be more important to me than it is to you. Because if it is, that'll be a short-lived relationship. I cannot be willing to work harder to help you or you get to where you want to be than you're willing to work for your own self. So back to my man, because I just can't get off this. It's like stuck on my head. I need y'all to understand like what's going on. It's like, put it like this. How How can you want to graduate from school and you ain't taking any tests, right? How you expect to pass a class, right? And we talking about the class of life, the class of business, the class of entrepreneurship, and you haven't had any tests. Oh yeah, I'm like a beast at math. Like I can get the answer. I know the answer. But I'm just not really a good test taker. Like that's not gonna fly. Like you can't tell that to your teacher and expect for them to give you an A+ for the semester, and you ain't willing to test out of the class or to test up if you're trying to get to the next level. Let me just get to geometry, which it's like 9th, 10th grade stuff. Let me get to like some super crazy math. I don't even know because all I did was go to high school, right? You're trying to get to some crazy level of math. Cool, you want to get out of this class, you got to test up. Like, let me see you know the material. And here's where it applies to life too. You just can't know the answer. You got to know the system. You got to know how to operate behind the scenes. You got to know how the mechanics work behind what you're really doing. See, because too many times, I know what 5 times 5 is. It's 25, right? 8 times 8, 64, 7 times 7, so on and so forth. That's cool, but how did you come to that conclusion, right? In school, when you really testing, especially in math, which is a really good example, there's a lot of times, especially now with technology, you could be on your little iPhone, like getting the calculator. You could be on your little watch, little Apple Watch, typing it in, right? You can have the answers memorized because from childhood, there's certain things we just always knew. 1 + 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, right? But let me see you write the math out. Let me see you put this over this, divide this by this, add this, do all these other activities so I can see how you came to that conclusion to get the right answer. Because I'm not so much as concerned with the answer as I am about the process. And that's why you can't cheat the process when you're trying to succeed. You can't cheat the process. You got to be true to the process because here's the reality. If you understand how math works or division or multiplication works or geometry works, it doesn't matter what equation you put in front of somebody. If they know the process, they can get the correct answer no matter what the numbers are, no matter what the variation in numbers are on the equation. They can always come to the right conclusion. That is so relevant to us in life is you might have some answers. You might have heard some quotes from people, right? You might have had somebody do something and you kind of saw what they did, and so you know what to say about the end process, and you kind of got the right words down, and you got the right clothes and you got the right look, and you kind of got the right swag for the deal. But I want to know, do you understand the process? Because there's going to be a lot of circumstances and situations that will come up in your life that you don't have the predetermined answer for. And if you don't know the process in order to get the answer or to create success, then you'll never, ever be successful, not long term. You might come up on a come up, and that's about it. And then you're going to lose that come up because there's going to be situations that unfold with your come up that are going to require some expertise, some knowledge. And you're going to have to illustrate that knowledge not only to the people who are buying your product, but maybe to some people who are investing into your business, right? So you just can't give me the answer. You just can't tell me I know how to do this. I'm good at this. Let me see you do it. Show me some work. Show me how you got there. Show me how you would interact in this situation so I know that I can trust you to be able to run this or to be able to manage this or to be able to take care of this. I need to understand that you got the right mindset to be able to withstand any trials or any adversity that may come up in this situation. Man, y'all got to quit playing. You got all these answers. You got all these things that are just pre-recorded. It's just memorized. It's nothing but a memory. It's nothing but a stolen quote from somebody else. Nah, I need you to generate something for yourself. Right? You can't go to the bank and talk about, I got this great idea. Let me get $50,000 so I can start this business. Nah, how much money do you have in the bank? Let me see the process that you know how to save. Let me see the process that you know how to invest. I'll tell you another quick little story about this. Why you got to have something going on for yourself. I was 18, 19, 20, something like that. I had this cool little idea. Sometimes I would be working on the road and I would be doing some work on my laptop in the car, and the sun would be beaming and I really couldn't see the screen. And I was like, man, I wish I had like a little visor or something that like cover the sun and also a little bit of privacy, and I could type and still do my deal. So I was like, man, I got this cool idea. I'm gonna come up with a laptop visor. Man, I'm gonna get that thing in Best Buy. It's about to blow up. I'm about to be rich. And so I called one of them little commercials on TV, like, Advent Help or Invent Help or something like that, where they'll like do the patent for you and all that. So I hit them up. I forgot what they said it was, like $250, $60. I was like, bet, that's a small investment so I can get rich. And so they sent me this package. And in the package, it's like all these questions about my product. What does it look like? How does it feel? What kind of material is it made out of? How does it fit on the laptop? Does it interact with any other things on the laptop that will make it challenging or difficult to use? And so I'm answering all these questions. And then so one of the questions too is like, do you got a prototype? No, I don't have a prototype. Have you invested any money into the business? Or no, I haven't invested. I'm at the first stage, right? So I mail my stuff back in, and I can't wait for it to come back in the mail. I'm like trying to keep it secret. I'm not telling anybody about it. I'm like, man, I'm about to blow up. This thing about to be in all these tech stores, and I'm about to get rich. So they come back and they're like, oh, we're sorry. We've declined to pursue your opportunity. And I'm like, what? This is like a super dope idea. So I start reading the little package, and it's telling me like why they wouldn't invest with me, why they wouldn't take my idea and where I was at, take me to the next level. So they were like a point system, and you had to have like 85 points or higher, and for them just to go to the next level of negotiations or conversations. And one of the most intriguing things that held the most value on that point system, the question was, do you have a prototype? And I was like, man, if I had a prototype, they would have been able to see what it looks like. They would have saw that I was serious about my investment. They would have saw that I was willing to put some of my own money in place. They would have been understanding how serious I was to pursuing this opportunity and this desire that I had and this goal and this vision to create this product. And I didn't have a prototype. I'm asking you, do you got a prototype for what you want in life? Like, or is it just all in your mind? Is it all theory? Is it all fiction? Because really, until it's down on paper, until it becomes reality, it's just in your imagination. And you could be the smartest person in the world, but if you can't get what's inside of your head out of your mouth and on the paper into action, it's just always going to be a lost vision. It's always going to be a dream. Just like my man who passed away here a couple of months ago. One of the smartest theoretical geniuses in the world. Not theoretical, theoretical, not theological, theoretical. I can't believe I forgot his name. The dude, he was in a wheelchair, got paralyzed or something when he was like 17, 18, 19. He had that disease. And this dude was one of the greatest astrophysicists. Just imagine how much information would be lost. This dude's brain was incredible. This dude doing like entire whiteboards of mathematics inside of his head with no paper, no notes, nothing to write it down, all straight from memory, everything about astrophysics and black holes and space and the universe, all inside of his brain. Just imagine if he was never able to get that out of his mouth, even though it had to be done with assistance and typing and looking his eyes different ways to point at what was on the board so people could write down what he was thinking. There'd be so much information lost. Man, I'm telling you, you got to have a prototype in life. You got to have something going on for yourself that you constructed on your own before anybody came through to help you out. Man, I'm telling you that is the only way to start gaining some traction, is create a prototype of what your life needs to look like. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best, but it's a start. And you can never finish if you don't start. So I encourage everybody to create a prototype in your life, right? Start getting those points. Start having something that other people can see, that where their time and where their money and where their wisdom is going to be invested, and that they will get a return on their investment because you've already been willing to get a return on your own investment of time. And that's by putting in the work on the ground floor, boots on the ground, day one. All you, nobody else, no excuses, just results. Let's get it. Until next week, this is Randall Cook, the chef. I'll holla at y'all later. 2 seconds.